Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the show that brings to you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news from all over the planet. We are a show where we are just two people wandering through the desert, thinking to ourselves, "Desert, why hath you no water?" And you say, "Hello, beings from places with water. I'm a desert." And we're like, well, that's fine, but we don't really care about the water. But what you need is odd news, because it'll bring people here and it'll create a population, it'll create a utopia. And the desert goes, "What is this weird news you speak of?" And we say, "Behold, it is in this podcast that will give you nourishment and turn you into something glorious." And then the world becomes an oasis of glory and shines brightly like the sun. Hi, I'm your host, Steven, joined as always by the amazing, the wonderful, the probably tired Smashly. Hey, Smashy, how are you?
They're fun accessory buttons.
Oh, Lord, you guys, she found something on the computer. She was left alone, and now here we are. What are you doing? For the audio listeners, Ashley is turning into someone, an alien from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, as she adjusts her lights. And I
can't. Where's the camera?
She's now blinded by the light. Blinded by the light, revved up like a douche, another runner in the night. He doesn't say douche. I know what you guys are thinking, but that's not what happened.
Isn't a deuce a poop?
No, a deuce was, somebody help me out. Wasn't a deuce a car thing? I think it was a car thing. It was a deuce canoe.
A deuce canoe?
Was it a deuce coupe? It's a deuce coupe, in 1932 Ford, the little deuce. I don't know why they called it a deuce.
Why would you be wrapped up?
Revved up like a deuce. Yeah, I know, right?
No.
Yes, today you learned.
I have chill bumps.
It's revved up like a deuce.
It's not wrapped up. I thought it was like a poop thing, like some kind of German poop thing.
No, why would that be on the radio? The FCC would have been like, no.
The FCC won't let me be me. That's all I know of this song, teehee.
The FCC won't let me be me? Well, that's why we don't care about them, because we're a podcast and we have function on the internet. We're outside of their realm.
Pirate radio!
Wasn't there like a fear years ago that the FCC was going to start regulating online content? And we were all like, that's going to break podcasting. And plus, go ahead and police 2 million podcasts that all made it to at least 10 episodes. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That would be impossible. Could you imagine?
I think everything that the government does except keep the roads up right now is dumb.
It's fair enough. I think that's an ambiguous opinion. I think everyone could get on board with what you just said. I think that is a gap bridging opinion. You will unite the clans.
I'm a thong.
What?
So I feel like if you have an opinion that bridges a gap, that you're a thong.
Why
are they hammer dwarf? No.
They're not keeping the roads up. Have you ever driven I-95 in South Carolina? No.
Dude, okay, so trucks. Yeah, yes, you're a thong. If you bridge the gap, you're a thong, right? You straddle the crevasse, unless you're wrong and you wear the thong and you're crack, and that's just gross, because then you're just rubbing fecal matter up and down your crevasse.
You don't wear a thong
crevasse.
You don't wear a thong in your crack. I thought the whole point was to go up the crack.
It gently straddles the crevasse. If your thong is up your butt, you're uncomfortable and you have to fix it. But the thong is outside the crack of the cheeks. It just hides the crack. It is a crack covering, not a crack filler.
Why do so many buttholes get covered or filled? Why are so many cracks filled with thong? What?
This just is CNN asked the government, why are so many buttholes covered?
No, really. Why are so many cracks filled with thong if it's not for filling cracks?
So I'm assuming the cracks filled you've seen have been pictures on the interwebs or TV shows.
Okay.
Those are just sexy crack fills.
Sexy.
They're not practical crack straddles.
Okay, so we're arguing now the crack straddling versus the crack filling. And that's the thong. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how that small amount of fabric becomes a crack straddler. But now we know that's the way it's supposed to be.
I see HG, like when his thong goes in his crack. So I feel like if a guy wore a thong, it would be easier for the material to straddle the crack because the hairs would create friction.
Because guys have hairy butts.
Yes.
Okay.
Every butt I have seen has been hairy.
I try not to look
On
at
a
my
male.
butt, to be honest. I don't have much of one to begin with, so I just generally don't stay away from it. I have a grandpa butt. Like my grandpa was basically concave. Like his back went down and then it just kept going straight to the floor.
Straight, yeah.
And that's the way my butt is.
Steven and I are surrounded by people with nice asses. Like Stephanie's got a really badonkadonk, and Jacob's got a badonkadonk, and Steven and I are like, well, when we sit, it doesn't hurt.
Ashley has these pajama pants she wore once, and she was like making pancakes or something. I was like, did you poop your pants? What is going on over there? It's because there's no butt. There's just flump.
I was talking to a girlfriend of mine about, the weight gain after pregnancy. And I was just like, you know what? I'm really like, I don't want to be overweight, but I'm not gonna start freaking out and joining Facebook threads about, oh my God, I've gained so much weight and I'm an FA and I'm got to go. Because I'm keeping a 3-month-old alive. Right. So she's like, it took me about a year. She's like, and I was going to the gym for 2 hours a day. Like 2 hours a day. She's like, they had daycare and I had 4 kids and they would keep them for 2 hours. So I went to the gym for 2 hours every day. But she said, she's like, the bad thing is when your butt like melts away, you got all this like loose butt skin. And I'm like, I didn't get a butt. My boobs didn't get bigger and my butt didn't get bigger. My double chin got bigger and my belly got bigger.
You didn't get any of the benefits.
No.
None.
I was told I would get big old titties.
I was told that I would get bigger breasts. Someone told me I could get bigger breasts for this, and I did. I'll burn the building down.
No, did I become British?
I think at one point you did. Oi, oi, oi. No, that's fascinating. You always want the fat to go somewhere that it's gonna round you out somehow. Like, some fat could go to my butt. That'd be nice. But it's always like, nope.
Yeah.
To the places my face gets bigger first. I puff in my face, and then my belly starts to grow. I was sitting on the porch tonight, Ashley, and I had the revelation. You know when you're going through a body change where you're like, either have gained or you have either gained or reduced weight. Yes. Now, when you go through your changes and hair starts to grow in weird places, you realize there's always a point where you realize, got to do something about that. Or you realize, I've done something about that. And so tonight I sat down in the rocking chair and I was like, thump, I can feel more of my belly in my lap than I used to. You know what? But that's true. You are aware. And I'm like, this is uncomfortable and I don't want it to get any worse than it is now or I will die.
So mine's a thigh thing. Like when I was pregnant and I could feel my thighs rubbing together, I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, you'd start the chafe happens. The chafe.
Yeah. Well, it's not like wobs. I wear Steven, do you remember when we used to have to wear skirts because of school?
Yes, I recall the skirt fiasco.
So
Hammer George says you just gotta lean back.
Oh yeah. Well, so my problem is if I lean back, you can see more of my double chin.
You just walk around and accentuate it like I do.
Well, no. So one of the chicks I know, she's like, well, because we're nursing. She doesn't sound like this. She's actually very intelligent, and I don't know why I make her sound like this. But she's like,
please continue.
Because you're nursing, you do this all the time, right? So my chiropractor told me to do this to counteract it. You just gotta walk around. Like what? So we walk around like Cartman?
Hey, somebody said I was fat.
That was good.
Mom says I'm big boned.
I actually watched the episode of South Park about the Broadway yesterday. I'm like, my child is asleep. My brain is melting. And so I turned South Park on. And it didn't have Cartman in it. And now I realize why I was so unsatisfied.
You need that in your life for sure. The other night, Stephanie was upstairs with Sam, letting him helping him get to sleep. And I was downstairs. I'm like, we have HBO Max. You know what's on HBO Max, Ashley? Freaking Space Ghost Coast to Coast episodes. So I sat downstairs and I was like, nobody's here. Let's see what Space Ghost episode I could turn on. So I watched the episode of Conan O'Brien where Space Ghost gets bit by a fire ant and spontaneously combusts. Just basically ignores Conan the whole time and then tries to go talk to the ant's father. And it's anyway.
Can you imagine being in a studio with so I imagine Scott with his infinite little soundstage setup trying to do a show, and in comes George Lowe.
Yeah.
I feel like Scott's face would explode. I feel like anybody's face would explode. I feel like he'd be laughing, but like, I don't know what I'm at. Like, what are we doing?
You're talking about Groove, right? Groove's audio station.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you said Scott, and there's 15 Scotts.
So no, there's Groovy Scott, and there's Scott Ye, and one of them does sound, and one of them is just an LSD unicorn.
He was on Breaking the Panel last night, and he had a background of the trashy old motel pool, and I'm like, this is just, you're an amazing human, Scotty. You are something. You are the best of us. He's great. TV's Travis, you haven't had Scotty on your show. You need to make that happen. I think that's we here at Horseshoes and Hand Grenades believe in our matchmaking, and I think you need to make that be a thing. Oh, it was something else.
What?
Good. Oh, just
I still think we all need to switch shows one day and just do each other's show.
You can't leave me. No, I'm not letting you leave me unless you want.
No. I mean, two other people do Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
Maybe I should watch Travis's show. He's called me out. I haven't listened in a couple weeks. You watch movies that I haven't seen. Gosh.
I feel like I've been lurking on everything. At late at night, if I'm nursing, I'm just like, I can't type with my freaking left hand. It's annoying. I'm just gonna lurk.
I don't drive enough anymore to listen to anything. When I'm at work, I'm like, I have to think, and then I miss stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm not doing podcasts a service by listening halfway. But yeah, you're right. I should support my friends with more show listening.
I
try to catch them.
Voice to text is great during the day, but at night when he's nursing, I don't talk because he'll wake up, pop off his feeding utensil, and look at me and go, I'm like, no. It's 3 a.m. It is not time. It's sleepy time.
Go back to bed. Let's do a factoid of the week.
Okay.
When a comet is heated by the sun, its ice begins to sublimate. The mixture of ice crystals and dust blows away from the comet nucleus in the solar wind, creating a pair of tails. The dust tail is what we normally see when we view comets from Earth. They have
wow, a scientist did that one.
No, we can't trust it though. I mean, it's got biases and stuff.
Is it a politically friendly scientist?
It's a red comet, so we could talk about it. No, it's. Do they run out of? Can they run out of ice and then not have any tails anymore? What? How does? How does comet? Someone help me understand.
Actually, I've never really understood. Okay, so what created the momentum to begin with? And I know this is all the Big Bang stuff, but Steven and I went to Christian school, and they're like, the Big Bang is false. We're not even going to teach it to you. Don't look at it, or your eyes will melt, and Jesus will not love you.
It's not that far off. That feels pretty right. Feels pretty accurate.
So instead of teaching us the whatever.
But yeah, let's
what it is.
Right.
So
everybody knows.
we didn't get necessary. So it's just why is it moving? What hit it?
Mm-hmm.
Where did it come from?
Stop asking questions.
Comets are God's kidney stones. Red comet is coming. Hey, have you? What was the red sun? That was good.
Oh boy, you just jumped all the horses to get to whatever we just got to. It's Ashley's referring to Superman. Um, Red Sun is a Superman if he landed in Russia, and it was a really good comic. Nice, it was good, Ashley. Yes, and completely irrelevant to anything we're talking about. But
Well,
yeah,
no, because HG said red comet is communist, and communism is red sun, because Superman was a communist.
and communism is bad, right, kids? You have to make sure you say that so you don't get pulled off the internet. Communism is wrong.
It's all bad. Become an anarchist, start your own compound, grow chickens, and raise cabbage.
Anarchy's
Those are
easy.
the correct verbs.
You don't have to listen to anybody. Take that.
No.
Shabam.
And if you suck, the compound will kick you out. It's self-policing. It's fine.
I think it all works until the commune grows. And then you're like, well, that guy's a turd. But do we have rules against turds? Not yet. We should make rules against turds because that guy's a turd. Well, why is he a turd? Well, he said that Superman is worse than Batman. Well, I think Batman's worse than Superman. And it's like, well, now what do? We're in this. We're in a dangerous game of chess. We've stalemated one another. And then you end up in a pickle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything starts out like a kid in his first semester freshman year. You ready?
Yeah.
You got your game face on. It's gonna be good. But by the time Christmas rolls around, you're giving up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The drugs are starting to work their way in.
Your planner that you bought stopped being filled out right around October-ish.
You're rolling joints with the planner paper.
You're doing the do.
You're throwing up in the bathroom of a 7-Eleven, wondering what happened to your life. Freshman year, let me tell you, it's a rough game. I went to community college. I didn't have. I think the furthest out I ever went was I ate at Wendy's with a guy, and then I went home. I was like, "Hey, I'm going to class," and then everybody I met, I'm like, "I don't like any of y'all. Like, y'all are doing things and talking about doing things that I don't want to do because that sounds like wild, promiscuous behavior that I don't want to put myself around. I'm just gonna go back to my parents' house and stay there every night forever."
I went to when Steph, because Mom in her infinite wisdom put Stephanie and I in college when we were both 16. So when we graduated, we had to declare a major, which was great because I was the youngest kid and I felt like a badass because I do like feeling special.
Yeah, of course.
But my freshman year was when I was 16 and living at home.
Well, you got lucky then. I remember whispers from kids around school. They were like, Stephanie can go to college as a sophomore. That wasn't exactly true, but it was impressive. You know what I mean?
Jacob was really sweet and brought me a brownie, but I have one.
2 brownies. I don't know what your problem is, because that sounds great. I was uncomfortable with people. I didn't want to go to people's parties and stuff.
Did you not go to any?
No. Why would I go to a party? I ended up finding friends at the tech school I went to because I asked my buddy, I was like, I've been looking at D&D because I've always wanted to play it. And he's like, I've been playing D&D for 30 years. Let's get together. And then the parties I went to involved dice and pieces of paper and like 5 nerds sitting around drinking balls guarana and eating pizza all day. It was the greatest. I found my tribe. I didn't need all that like LSD or whatever the kids were doing. It's like, this is awesome.
The only time I ever got offered drugs was people offered me pot all the time because they thought I was a pothead because the way I dress. But like
hoodies.
But like when I told them like, nah, I don't smoke pot, like everybody was so like nobody ever did it again. Like nobody tried to force me to take anything. Nobody ever offered me like. I went to a party once where everybody was doing lines of cocaine, and I'm like, sweet. The entire football team is here doing lines of cocaine off this table. Okay, bye.
Yeah, you are very anti-drug. You might have been pro other things, but you were very, you were very anti-drug. And that's a good thing to be. Everyone should be that, right, kids? Yes. Speaking of drugs, let's talk about, gosh, COVID-19. Why, Jacob? Why is our news COVID-19?
There's literally no way. There's just,
Why?
you just can't not do it.
World news. Indian man wears solid gold-plated face mask to protect against COVID-19. Bling, bling. Blingy, blingy, bling,
Wait,
bling.
Wait, what? No.
Solid gold-plated. No. Yes, it's a thing. Forget N95 masks. Well, we're about to find out. Forget N95 masks. One man is wearing a real golden face mask to deflect coronavirus. Shankar Kurhati from Pune, India, paid $4,000 to produce a customized face mask made of pure gold. Weighing in at 2 ounces, the precious metal mask took 8 days to craft. Is gold at $2,000 an ounce? No, it's not. It's like $1,300 an ounce. Who's tracking precious metals? Give me the numbers.
Yeah, but to plate it onto
it costs money. Labor. It's labor intensive. Yeah. What's gold's melting point? Can you melt gold in your backyard? I'm asking for a friend.
Actually, that's a really good question. I feel like
how do you melt?
Your ass got your internet fixed. You come back to the show.
Yeah,
son.
Where is he? He's been gone forever. Gold is $1,800.
He's probably in jail for murdering Time Warner.
He needs to. He did pop in. He said one thing in the chat today because I realized I haven't seen Stub in like a week and a half. Where is that kid? And we care. 400 C is with the melting temperature of gold. Ashley, we need to find 400 C. That's Celsius. What's that in Fahrenheit? Nobody cares.
That has to be Landon.
Well, I mean, it's either Landon or Chris giving us the numbers. 400, because I only know one Vishla Ranger. I know two, I suppose.
Well, I'm just, because his wife is funny.
Yeah, they're both funny. I would defend both of them to the death. How do we get, Landon said that it's a lie. Okay, all right. Figures. Okay. See, he does this to me. He's not even here, and he tells me things that I believe, and then I go and tell them to other people.
That's what I said. That has to be Landon. Like,
oh, it's Myers. Hi, Myers. I don't know if I know Myers, but hi. It's good to see you. He said it's Myers. He said Myers twice. This is the worst. Oh, he means MFers. Okay. I see. Oh, it's fun to be in the chat. The first question that may come to many minds is how Karate manages to breathe while wearing the covering over his mouth.
His Karate?
Well, Kurhade probably, but Karate seems better. It is a hey Scotty. It's like we said Scotty's name 3 times and he showed up. That's so weird.
Yay!
It is a thin mask. It has tiny pores that is helping me to breathe, Kurhati said. The golden mask is fitted with tiny pores that allow oxygen to enter. Good! Just like you would put on a box you keep a frog in. Just tiny holes to allow the oxygen. I'm not sure if it will be effective to protect me from coronavirus infection, he admitted, adding that he thinks it's not the gold or cloth mask, but social distancing and hand washing that will protect human beings from coronavirus. I'm going to throw a water bottle through the internet at this man. Like, yes, that is something you should do, but no, projectile spitting is going to kill everyone. So what's the mask then? Is it just a fashion statement? Well, wearing face masks is currently mandatory in public places in India, so the 49-year-old businessman has no choice. However, he doesn't seem to mind the attention, although he insisted it's not a publicity stunt, even though he got lots of publicity out of it.
We'll say we're doing a news. Okay.
Why can't we melt gold in our backyard? I need to be able to melt gold.
Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question and then I'm gonna look this up. What would you gold plate? Like if it was
my Johnson.
Fucking shit.
Oh, an unfortunate smelting accident.
The melting point of gold is 1,948 Fahrenheit or 1,064 centigrade. That's hot AF.
You need a propane torch to melt gold. Or you can use one. You can melt it in a 1200 watt microwave? Who out there has microwaved gold? It was like, no, I've got a nice block of gold. This is great.
Pure gold is too hot to melt, or too tough to melt with an ordinary fire. It has a melting point of blah, 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 blah. I already said that. 1945. Yeah.
Your dad has a butt ton of butane. We could probably melt it with a butane
A butt
torch.
ton of butane. That's the show title. I don't care what happens. That's the show title. Butt ton of butane.
Scotty says the melting point of my Johnson is 1500 Fahrenheit.
Wait, did Ace say something that we missed?
I don't know. Probably. It's hard to tell these days. The chat is scrolling so fast.
I was gonna say it.
You know why they like to talk? They get so much attention because we basically farm them for content. That seems fine by me.
Propane can. Okay, he did say that. Dagnabbit. Like, make it highlighted next time for those of us that have attention deficit issues.
Wait, you can do it with propane? You can melt it with propane? Because I've got a lot of small frames of glasses that Ashley made me take home. And I need to get the gold off of them. And I feel like if I schmelted it first into a giant block, I could go sell it to a gold person. Not like a person made of gold, but a person that deals in gold.
What would you gold plate? Like, if you could carry something around and it wasn't like heavy and it didn't ding and blah, blah, blah. Like, what would you gold plate or no shit, now the whole chat's going to be.
What did... No, every message is highlighted.
And I'm like, look at all the bright things.
You know how many points they have?
I would gold plate this. Scotty A. Johnson's melt is my favorite Waffle House sandwich.
Scotty's Johnson melt. Okay. So I didn't want to do the show because I was very tired.
Keychain?
And now here I am. You have a Two Dorks keychain? Where'd you get that from?
What? Where did you get that?
I don't even have a Two Dorks keychain. Who gave you that?
That's an option?
I want one. No, what do I carry around? I stay at home now. I don't know. I don't carry thing. Oh, I could gold plate my AirPods case so I could be even more pretentious.
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Gold plated AirPods.
Then nobody would recognize. Well, I guess they would still recognize it as the AirPods.
Yeah, they just be gold plated AirPods. Everybody knows they're AirPods.
And maybe Groove can help me out with this. So Apple's, I have hiccups.
I don't wireless charge anyway.
So the
what? The earpod.
What are the words?
AirPods, ears.
Those ear thingies. Like, why are people so obsessed with them? They don't stay in your ears.
What ear thingies?
They don't block out Apple's ear thingies. And they don't block out sound.
No, they're not meant to.
I'm gonna lick you.
They're not meant to. They're just convenient. You put them in your ears, they automatically connect to your phone.
But they're so stupid expensive, and they're like, but they're not good. Are they good? Am I missing something?
I mean, they're
These
good
headphones
enough.
don't block out apples. Is that what I said?
I hope so. I wish the quote bot was working because that would be really great. Zafo says the AirPod Pros are great, so you spend an extra $100 and you can get those. I wear my AirPods when I'm mowing the lawn.
Riding horses. Okay,
Yeah.
like they won't. Maybe my ears are just misshapen because they have never stayed in my ears ever.
Your
like
ears
I remember
are
I
dumb.
used to go jogging with them, and they would just fall out, and I'm like, F this and F you and F this and F everybody. This sucks. This sucks.
Well, that's a lot of up the butts you got going on over there.
It's okay. So like you get in your groove, you're like, oh, I'm working out, la 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 la. And you're running to the pace of the music, and everything's good, and your earphone falls out. You're like, fuck. It's ruined everything because you have to get back into your flow, and you've lost the pace of music, and maybe the song's over by that point, and you're just like, everything sucks.
Yeah, and then it was bad drop off. You got punched in the face in the middle of your eye. You're like, dagnabbit.
Push further. Sorry, I haven't talked to people in a day or two.
Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. You'll be like, Jacob goes to work full time now. I need an adult. I can't talk about choo-choo trains anymore. I can't do it. Someone talk to me. It'll happen. It's good stuff. Anyway, gold masks, ineffective, but hey, I mean, you look cool, I guess. He could have at least molded it into like, oh, his mask looks stupid. Do you see this picture? Do you see?
I want to see it.
Did you look at the picture? It looks so dumb. It looks so dumb. It looks so dumb. I expected it to at least cover his face.
Scorpion!
Yeah, get over here. It looks like he took a coffee filter and dumped it in his gold and put it on his face.
It looks like
it's
one of those
cup.
things you wear over your nuts.
It's a cup. Yes, it's an athletic cup.
Yes. He took a jock strap and strapped it across. Can you put it up for everybody to see?
I pasted the link. I can try. Let's see if I can get my browser to display. There it is. There it is. It's better on his face. It's so much better. It's so bad.
It's just, I mean, I really, really want to play Mortal Kombat now.
You should. There's Mortal Kombat 11.
You do the get over here thing.
Get over here. I don't actually have that.
Again, do.
Get over here.
You sound like a disgruntled, like 40-year-old man.
Get over here, boy.
Ah! Okay, you were watching Space Ghost.
I'm gonna whoop you. Oh yeah, Space Ghost, get over here.
I want to see if his chin looks like balls.
It does look like a cup. Small town news.
That man has an inordinate amount of gold on his hands.
What? Oh, the
guy
in the Oh yeah, he's a gold dude. He is one step away from gold member. You better be careful.
I will say, it does look good on his skin tone. When I wear gold, it blends in, and I hate it.
Yeah. Yellow gold looks gaudy on people that look like us. Like our skin tone looks just
because we have gold. Well, mine. I like silver because it stands out.
Yeah, it works better.
Yes, I am the golden skin, which is great until you don't go in the sunlight, and then you have sallow skin.
I tan very gloriously. I bronze. I just don't go outside.
Steven!
What?
Have you noticed a higher bug to outdoor ratio this
my
year?
lord. Yes.
What
They're everywhere.
fudgery is going on? There's
Do you want to know?
Jacob's mowed the yard twice in the last 2 weeks, right? And every time he mows, he gets beaten to shit by yellow jackets. Like they're eating his face off, and he just goes and kills some of them like more pots of them. There's these stupid effing bald face hornets that are the size of like a small dick just flying around going like that. And I'm like, I would like to go on my deck. And there's ants everywhere. And there's this beetles shit. So Jacob was having a cigar out in the garage last week or something. And I walk out and there's just bugs everywhere. There's like a fucking rhinoceros beetle trampsing through a Hercules beetle. Is that what I don't know, whatever. This beetle.
With the mandibles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just 5-foot giant ass beetle. There's like a centipede riding on its back doing this. And then there's like these other like beetles flying all around, and one like hit me in the face after Jacob's like, oh honey, you're fine, they're just beetles. And one like hits me right in the face. That hit myself twice. That really didn't feel good. And there's like little roaches flying around, and there's lightning bugs. I'm like, where the fuck did you what is happening? Get out of my garage. But they're everywhere. And there's ants. There's like ants on top of ants on top of ants. I don't understand it. I'm like, they're like, take your baby outside and put him in the grass and let him feel it. And I'm like, fuck that shit. He's going to get stung by 50,000 bees and eaten by ants and flown away on the back of a rhinoceros beetle.
He's going to pick him up, and it's like Starship Troopers in your backyard.
Yes! Yes! Did you see the video I sent where I went and I was trying to play with the little beetle, and it goes. He was so pissed off at me, reared back and like, I will eat your face.
Make yourself look bigger. No, I'd agree. We have ants in our everywhere. I had one crawling on my hand the other day. They've got the ants. We've got the roaches. I was out letting Dodger go pee at night before we went to bed, and I was just standing out there, and I looked down, and there's a roach just like scurrying past my foot. I'm like, oh no, roach! I'm barefoot out here. You don't get to do that. I mean,
Right?
but here's the reason. If you remember winter, it got down to a whopping 40 degrees. Like it never froze. It never froze hard, like for days, and handled some of that removal of the bugs. It stayed pretty warm. This only gets worse, you guys. It only gets worse from here. The Earth is self-correcting. It's trying to kill the virus. It is attempting to use whatever means necessary to remove the virus from its body. We just happen to be that thing. We're the virus. And it's like, okay, I got to make it pretty hot. I got to get a fever to kick it off of here. That's doesn't seem to be working. So I'm going to deploy my antibodies, which for the Earth is a virus. It's going to deploy its antibodies, and it's working its darndest to kill us off so it can save the world. You know what I mean?
It's just, I've never seen, so those little wood roaches, like, I had honestly never seen a roach before I went to Florida when we used to go visit you. And everybody's like, those are palmetto bugs. Like, they ain't roaches, because they're wood roaches. So they're
roaches.
Infestation kind. They like to be outdoors, but they also will come indoors if the outdoors gets inhospitable. And every once in a while you'll just see them like flitting around your house, and you're like, get the fuck out of it. Who invited you in? And there's spiders everywhere. There's like spiders in my bed. Oh my god, I went to take the baby on a walk yesterday, and we had left the buggy pram stroller.
Buggy's a good word for it. I'm a fan of that. Oh, yes, Jeeves, did you pull in the buggy with the baby in it? Make sure you get him to bed on time. Thank you. Pinky up.
Sorry, did I blow the mic out when I snapped?
No, I snapped my fingers because they said don't snap. They were calling me Thanos because I was basically espousing Thanos' idea that we need to kill half the universe.
I thought I snapped because I did this. I'm like, sorry. I should assume everybody's yelling at me. But yeah, so I went outside, and like there was a couple little baby spiders on the, I want to call it a pram stroller. And I'm like,
why the pram? Is that the British word for a stroller? German word. What's a pram?
It's a stroller.
I Google it. I Google this. Pram.
Googled it.
Definition of a pram. A pram is chiefly British. A small, lightweight, nearly flat-bottomed boat with a broad transom and usually squared-off bow. Okay. Or a baby carriage. It's a British baby carriage. I knew it. I knew you were using the British word. I knew you were doing. Because you say things like, he was going on about things. And that's not something Americans say. I'm just waiting for you to adapt, like, to straight away. And then we went to the grocery store straight away. You're going to do it.
I don't remember what the inside. I haven't been grocery shopping since I got pregnant.
I haven't been since, like, March. We have everything delivered. Everything except for booze. I don't know how to get booze. I got to find a way to get my Kahlua and vodka back in my life.
Brew through. Holy Grail. We watched that. We started watching. Oh no, who was I watching that with? Jacob doesn't like Holy Grail. Somebody doesn't like.
Neither do I. I don't like it. No, I've tried to watch it multiple times. I get really bored. I can't make it past the witches. I want to, but I can't.
Ridiculous.
I can't like it.
Ridiculous.
Look at everybody. Look at this. This is what happens every time I tell my nerdy friends that I don't like it. Is I get this, what is wrong with you?
British humor is dry humor, and if you don't like, there's just, you either like it or you don't. And I feel like Kelly and Zafo definitely like it.
Yeah,
because
their son is British.
British. Like, they have to like it.
Travis just said, "To hell with you." Thanks, Travis.
Okay, when you get the like most mild people in the chat up in arms,
I feel like they would throw things at me if I was on stage right now.
I think they're gonna fart in your general direction.
I get the jokes. Ha 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 ha.
I reported this channel.
Listen, the jokes are great on their own. Like, if you make a reference, I'm down. I love some of the Monty Python skits. I love the Dead Parrot. I love the Ministry of Silly Walks. I think those are amazing, but I can't do the long narrative. Like, I can't, the whole movie, I find myself getting tired, and I just don't, I can't do it. I love the individual moments. I just can't do it all together. And I don't like the spam skit. There's a reason I didn't mention the spam kit skit. I don't. It's a silliness that goes beyond my ability to handle it.
I don't know why I like it, because it is. Well, the nobody ever knows this, and I think I've asked this before, but Black Adder. Have any of you guys seen that?
I haven't watched it. I love Rowan Atkinson a lot. Mr. Bean was my jam.
I think. Okay. Wow, I really like you people. Let me just. I haven't seen Life of Brian.
We should talk about kangaroos.
Okay. I just wanted to say you guys make me really happy that you guys know what Black Adder is, because nobody ever does. And I'm like, it's a thing, and it was funny, but it's never. And then, like, the Queen, but then Nazi Germany. It's okay. Police capture kangaroo hopping through Fort Lauderdale. The little kangaroo poo hopping through Fort Lauderdale, scooping up the squad cars and bopping them in the head. I was trying really hard.
What? How much have you drank tonight?
Little bunny foo foo?
Yeah, I get it. I just don't know why you made it up.
Because this is hopping through Fort Lauderdale. Little kangaroo hopping through Fort Lauderdale, scooping up the squad cars. Yeah. Police officers captured an unlikely suspect bouncing through a Florida neighborhood after receiving a call about a kangaroo running loose, hopping loose. Police officers managed to capture him and place him in a squad car. That was ballsy. Like, all he has to do is lean back and kick out the spacer.
Oh, you're right. This is like when Tommy Boy, when they put the deer in the back seat of the car. This is just a replay of that. Ashley doesn't get it. Everyone else does, though.
I don't. Comedy's such a thing.
We just got done talking about Holy Grail, and now I say a movie, and you're like, yeah, comedies.
Well, no, because I was just thinking, like, it's weird that I like Holy Grail because it's completely pointless, ridiculous. It doesn't have an ending, and it's super dry. But then you got Tommy Boy, and I'm like, nah.
Comedy is completely subjective. Like, I love Space Ghost, and Stephanie will just roll her eyes all the way back into her head if I try to make her watch an episode of Coast to Coast. But me and Landon will roll on the floor, dead, laughing at some stupid joke.
I do. So I don't. Space Ghost. I remember Space Ghost would come on. I'm like, where is my enemy? What is this shit?
You were waiting on Toonami.
Yes.
Yeah. I was ready to turn off after Space Ghost. I was like, what's the Toonami? Off. TV, bedtime. When Toonami comes on, it's bedtime.
I would wait up for Toonami, and that's when my night started. After receiving the call, did I read that? No.
I don't know.
About a kangaroo running loose, police officers managed to capture him and place him in a squad car. The marsupial was taken to a barn where the agency keeps its horses.
Okay. I mean, kangaroos go where horses go. Sure. I mean, they're animals.
How many police stations have horses that aren't Canadian?
A lot of police stations have horses. Yeah, there's mounted police in New York. There's mounted police in New Orleans. There's mounted police in Newfoundland. I had two new cities. I was trying to think of another new one. New Jersey. That's a state, but it's small.
You.
I know.
But like
they have horses in Houston. That's Texas, so like most of the population rides horses, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean that's the main source of transportation in Texas is horses.
Yeah, kangaroos are horse-sized mice. Amador, that was good.
Have you seen the little kangaroo mice? And they're really cute.
I haven't, but now that you've explained them so well, I don't need to. I can visualize them.
Anthony Messias Macaquay.
Anthony the Messiah. Yes, I
Do you
remember
remember
it.
the Tell them about the
What?
Macaquays.
You remember everything, Sam Jr. Uh, we were gonna go to the zoo, and I don't know how to read. I learned. See, listen, this is what Hammerdorf says. If somebody mispronounces, you shouldn't make fun of them because they learned the word while reading. Smashy. There was a sign, and it said macaquays. It's not pronounced macaquays. They were macaques. They were monkeys. They were macaque monkeys. And Ashley would not leave me alone about it for clearly the rest of my life.
That
Not
was
just
like
one
20
day.
years ago.
It was easy. It was like 2005. We were at the zoo. Macaquays. There's macaquays over here. Steven, that's macaques.
He's like, guys, there's Macaquays. And Stephanie and I were like,
What's a macaquay? Macaque.
yeah, we were like, and there's this big sign that says Macaquays. We're like, oh.
Look, somebody
Yes.
didn't get zoo books growing up. I didn't know what they were called. I was watching Darkwing Duck and y'all were watching National Geographic and learning things.
Macaquay.
Stop it, McFly.
Sorry, so good. Anthony Macaquay, who claimed to be the kangaroo's owner, said he'd been hoping to bring his pet Jack home, but police told him the animal won't be returned. Fort Lauderdale isn't zoned for kangaroos. Macaquay said he was at work when he learned Jack had escaped. Wasn't there a movie called Kangaroo Jack?
Yes. No, Lightning Jack. Kangaroo Jack? Was it?
I think there's a
Did
Kangaroo
both
Jack.
of them star Paul Hogan? Because it sounds like that's a Paul Hogan movie. Yes, there was.
One had like Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, Kangaroo Jack was about a kangaroo. It had Jerry O'Connell and Anthony Anderson in it. I don't think it made a lot of money. Holy crap, Michael Shannon was in it? He's like the cat's pajamas these days. See, the places you will go. Well done.
All the places you won't go.
You won't go. Oh, wow. Man, that's a flashback to the past. It's 2003 where Jerry O'Connell had a career. Wild.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he still has.
He was cute. Did he do something bad and that's why he disappeared?
No, he and his brother just didn't do anything. I think his brother was in is the guy in what's the Dodgeball. Dodgeball. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I need to watch Dodgeball. The only one of those movies that I liked was Grandma's House. But it like the whole like the Matrix nerd guy, I'm like
Grandma's Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what I said?
No, you said Grandma's House, which is a much more boring movie. You don't want to watch that one. Big Mama's House. I watched that like 400 times.
What was that one?
That was with Martin Lawrence, where he dressed up in the fat suit as the old grandma. Big Mama's House.
Why did that? Like, how did that become an entertainment thing? People dressing like you got the black people that became white black dudes that dressed up as white chicks, and then you had like skinny dudes that dressed up as fat old women.
None of those movies could be made today. Correction, by the way, the entire chat's yelling at me. That wasn't Jerry O'Connell's brother. That was Jason Bateman. And I just thought they looked a lot alike. And they do. They do look a lot alike. But I should know that was Jason Bateman because I like him and he's a much better actor.
I don't know who any of these people are. Jerry O'Connell was the guy who played in Sliders, right?
I don't know. Welcome to Horseshoes and Hand Grenades movie show. He was in Stand By Me. I never watched Stand By Me. I've heard it's really good. Never watched it. Couldn't get Stephanie to watch it with me.
Is that the one with the leeches? Sliders. I remember Sliders.
Is that there's leeches in Sliders? I thought that was a time travel movie.
There's leeches in no, it wasn't a movie, it was a series. It was really cool. And that Paviardi opera dude was in it.
You're right. Yeah. Jerry O'Connell was in Sliders.
The date guy, Bad Dates.
Yeah, John Rhys Davies. Salah.
You guys are so. I'm just like the guy that was with the dates, and you and TV's Travis are just insane. Anyway, he's not getting his kangaroo back. He got it from a dude that was moving, and he also has a corgi named Max. And now he's sad because Max doesn't have his friend.
So everybody's upset that they have to yell at the chat, yell at us in the chat. And you know what? It's not painful because you can correct this. If you were here for the live show, you would be yelling at the top of your lungs at your radio going, "You idiots! It's this!" But here you can tell us, and it's great. It's great. Look at the interaction that we've had. You've never been able to yell at your TV and have the news anchor go, "Oh, we just got a report from Joe on his couch in Barbados that the wind does indeed blow in both directions."
Every time I watch, like, especially now, because I can't, like, text like I want to, because it's just, like, doing this with my left hand while I've got the baby is just such a pain.
Wait, I missed the gesture. What were you doing with your left hand while you have the baby?
I hate you. I'm going to eat a brownie. Why don't you read a story?
You get really good at one-handed typing. Who's better left untold? Oh, you guys. Jacob, you're so gross. You're so gross. Doctors remove live worm from woman's tonsil. Whoa.
How?
A woman in Japan got more than she bargained for after visiting the doctor with an irritated throat, as she was told that a worm was living inside her tonsil. I mean, this is why you go to the doctor.
Sushi.
Right. The 25-year-old woman underwent a physical examination at Tokyo's St. Luke's International Hospital after being left with throat pain and irritation 5 days after eating assorted sashimi. Ashley called it. It was indeed a raw fish-related incident. Medics identified a black worm, which was 38 millimeters long and still moving. 38 millimeters is 1.5 inches for all of us imperialists. Inside the woman's left tonsil, and they removed the creature using tweezers. I mean, I feel like you could do that at home. You know, just get your wife, "Hey, I think I got a thing in my throat. Can you get it out of there?" And just yank on it.
So the picture they're showing is much longer than 1.5 inches.
Well, it might be one of those reference pictures. It's not really the actual thing. Unless that's just, oh, no, that's centimeters. Right? No, that's longer if that was centimeters. That's still long. Ew, gross. Don't look at it. I'm not showing that on the internet. Gross. People can't show gross things on the internet like that. Blah. DNA testing on the worm identified it as a fourth stage larva of Pseudoterranova azaris, a parasitic roundworm. The parasite infects the stomach after a host has consumed larvae in raw or undercooked marine fish, with more than 700 cases reported in Japan, North Pacific countries, South America, and the Netherlands. The woman's blood test results were normal, and her symptoms rapidly improved after the worm was removed. I like happy endings to a story like that. You know what I mean? Like, it could have ended with, like, her tonsil was removed and she died 3 days later. But instead, it's like, no, she's great.
In this year, yeah. Yeah.
You just really want to hear that everybody came out all right on the other end, you know? Like, oh, that's gross. Man, I had sushi one day last week. Thai spices. That's a good thing. You eat the sushi, you eat the fried rice. But dagnabbit if DoorDash doesn't allow you to choose your spices when you order from there. Sucks butts. They're just like vegetable fried rice. I'm like, well, how do I pick the hottest hot nuclear Thai spice in the world? And they're like, you can't. Too bad. You just get the rice. And it's tasty.
That is one of the downsides to some of the like DoorDash and rapid delivery with quickness. What's the other one called?
There's Grubhub, there's DoorDash, Postmates, which I heard Postmates is a big old turd fart. It's a big old turd fart. I'm sorry, my vocabulary has been limited by this famous novel, Whatever Poots, by Samuel P. Adams. It's a great book. I've been reading it to him because he wrote it. He wrote Whatever Poots. Would you like a sample of Whatever Poots?
Yes, we would love.
He wrote this. This is his words. Stephanie put down on the page. What did the pooty poot? Poot poop. Turd gas. Trouser trumpet. Butt cat.
Trouser trumpet. It still cracks me up.
And then we quickly move. We quickly move to chapter 2. Holy what the heck in the world. I tell you what. So he's got it figured out. Holy, what's the bubble around me? That's what that guy says. this is just, it's mastercraft. And the last page is blank a lot. I'm sure there's more to be filled in. But the final page says, "What in the world? How is the next book so loud?" That's his first. That was his first book was Spiders Dancing, which was even better. But I won't spoil that one. Audiobook version coming soon to Audible, $2.99. Small price to pay.
We're gonna get TV's Travis to read it.
She reads your audiobook my son's novels. He's working on it, Kelly. I'll have a writer in the family for you at some point.
Bark. Can you imagine if spiders barked? Like, F that.
Oh my gosh. That would be terrible.
Like, can we do a collaboration with Trouser Trumpets? No, wait. Does that sound wrong? Trouser. That sounds wrong.
Why?
My trouser trumpet is blowing music for you, my love.
That just means you're pulling one of these guys. It's a trouser trumpet.
Oh my god, no! It's a fart joke! My mind made a horrible.
You didn't know it was a fart joke?
No, where the hell did he get Trouser Trumpet from?
From Dogman. He's got a book called Dogman, and there's somebody goes, Who cut the cheese? Who did it? They name like all these hundreds of things. So one day Sam and I are laying in bed before bed, and we're making poot jokes, and I was like, "Who left Grandma on the back porch?" It says Sam was riding with Stephanie one day, and he goes, "Who left Grandma at the bus stop?" We're just trying to make up the most ridiculous poot jokes we could. Who left the mayonnaise on the back porch in the sun with the lid off?
Ew, mayonnaise. A lot of brownie left on my plate.
Never eat potato salad.
Soggy waffles.
Ever. No, that's. I've always thought that was stupid. Like, what if I do it in the counterclockwise because I'm weird, and then I don't know.
No, I have no idea. Like, a lot of my friends are Catholic, and whenever we like do dinner with them, they always cross themselves, and I'm always like, which way do I go?
I hate when people use west and east. I know when I'm looking at the map, but when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, west, and I'm always thinking east. But I mean west, I mean east. Stupid. I hate compasses. Left or right?
I hate left and right, and I hate east and west. I hate anywhere right. I'm not. Well, I'll point and I'll still be wrong.
I can do lefts and rights because this is my left hand, so left is that way. Did you know that that's actually done a bunch of studies to show that women are actually statistically a lot less likely to get left and right the first time? It's not to say you don't know it. It's just for whatever reason that gut response that like dudes seem to have, the ladies do not have.
Also, when guys are giving directions, they'll use specific road names, and girls are much more likely to use like visual place markers. Like, you go down the road and then, you turn left at that big tree there or the big church, but a guy would be like, you go down the road about 1.5 miles and turn left onto Baker Street.
Yeah. Turn on to County Road 54.
And then you go, you turn right at the light at the big church.
Yeah. That's what Stephanie's directions are my favorite, because she'll be like, you're going to go up the road and you're going to take a left after Kroger, and then you're going to drive down the road a little ways and you'll see a white sign. That's not your turn. The next turn after the white sign. I'm like, don't tell me what the directions aren't. It confuses me. Tell me what they are.
I'm just trying to give you a heads up, but I'm like, no, now you've polluted. Yeah. Now I'm going to see the white sign, and all my brain's going to be like, Stephanie mentioned the white sign. Do I turn? Do I not turn? The white sign. Why is it a white sign? What's the white sign called? What else? What road am I on? And then I'm like, you're in Ohio.
You're in Ohio. You've changed it. You're got an entire different place. I'm like, you can't fill my head with extra stuff where I'll go, white sign. Turn it the white sign. No, not the white sign. The thing after the white sign.
Hey, remember when we were driving, or when you were driving, and I fell asleep, and then we went the wrong way?
It basically was the scene of Dumb and Dumber where they drove to like the middle of Nebraska.
Steve and I were taking a road trip, and I just crashed. Like, I think it was Steven's turn to drive, and I crashed. And or I had been awake the entire time and I fell asleep. And then I woke up and he had driven backwards for the last hour I had been asleep.
I drove down. I was going the right direction, south, and then I got the numbers of the interstates confused. I was like, "Oh, 26. I go 26 west or what? 26 east. I don't know what I did, but I ended up going like backing up towards Spartanburg, South Carolina, instead of towards Columbia, South Carolina. Everything just went wrong, very, very wrong, very
I woke up
quickly.
looking around. I'm like, how
I
long
added,
have I
yeah,
been asleep?
I added what, an hour and a half to our trip. Of a 13-hour trip was added an hour and a half to that 13-hour
This
trip.
was before like GPS too.
Oh yeah, you
This
didn't
was
have that.
MapQuest days.
And then we went through Atlanta, and I had to call Stephanie to ask her how we were going to get which way we needed to go. We kept going around a four-leaf clover intersection. We just kept going
And
down and back up.
so much pressure. I don't know. Where are you? We're like, just tell us what exit to get off on.
Just find an exit number and say it, and we will use that exit. Do we go south or do we go north? It was just
It was beautiful.
it was a wild experience.
15-minute period where we're like, are we going the right way? No, this looks like the right way. I think this is right. No, no, oh, no, no, oh, no. Call Stephanie.
Yeah, she goes to mapquest.com and hopes for the best. You know that site still lives? You can still get your maps from MapQuest. Like, why? I don't know, but you can.
Well, I mean, maybe
MapQuest.
if you want to bet, like, maybe you're going somewhere that doesn't have, like, any sort of.
Doesn't have Google? Where would
Yeah,
you
but I mean,
go?
like, there's a lot of people that go, like, mountain biking and, like, when Jacob and his dad went, they they couldn't get GPS signal half the places they were going, so they had to use a scrolly map.
There is nothing at MapQuest that you can't find at Google. And MapQuest is covered in ads. It's all about Comfort Inn and Suites and Priceline.com.
I have to
MapQuest
go
is a flaming turd. Somebody go here. I'm sure the maps are accurate, but when you can get the same information without that stuff, I mean, it's there, but it's a little more subtle on Google Maps. It feels a little bit more useful.
Oh, wow. There are ads everywhere.
Yeah, it's a pretty crappy website, but hey, I mean, I hope they're still making money and employing people. It's funded by the same people that buy old people's smartphones with 9 buttons. It cracks me up when your parents were traveling and they have the most advanced map technology on their phones in the world, and they would still put that stupid Garmin on their dashboard.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Like, stop it. It doesn't give you, like, by-the-minute traffic reports. Like, you don't have anything you need, or you could have, and it's literally on your phone. You just put it in the... It was amazing. It was amazing.
Like, well, I know. Because she still uses the Garmin.
I know.
I'm like, if you take the Garmin off, then you might remember it. Let's keep showing.
WTF. WTF. Jitterbug. I want a jitterbug.
Jitterbug. Da, 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 da. I'm zooming into Tallahassee right now because I was trying to see if I can find the place where I got my tattoo. It's probably close.
Was that
turn,
on
right?
Tennessee Street where you got your tattoo? It
It
was.
was like behind the Capitol building or down beside the Capitol building.
It was on Monroe. No, it wasn't. It was on Tennessee. No.
It was Euphoria.
That was cool. Sometimes I go to Tallahassee in Google Maps and just drive from my old apartment to my work just to see what it looks like. Like, I get Street View and I'm just like, I'm a drive to work. Do 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 do.
You guys lived like right next to all the cool stuff because you guys would leave, and I'd be like, I'm gonna go to the Governor Square Mall because this is the biggest thing I've ever seen because I'm from West Virginia.
It's a mall. It's got indoor stores.
It was fantastic. Anyway, nostalgia trip over. Julie. My mom's name is Jewel. Jeweler Berry. $1 million of treasure around Michigan and is selling tickets for a quest. What? That's so cool.
Selling tickets for I want to go.
Right?
I want to go.
A Michigan jeweler is calling it quits after 23 years and taking prospective adventurers on a treasure hunt. Johnny Perry, who owns J&M Jeweler in Washington Township, that just sounds so pervy, had an epiphany after being forced to shut down due to the coronavirus pandemic. Although I enjoy being in business for myself, I have been blessed serving our wonderful customers. I've discovered that I was never truly happy. Barry writes on the website for his treasure quest. Damn, that's depressing
I
AF.
know, like you just lived your
23
whole
years
life,
and never been
never enjoyed
content.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
damn, son.
oh gosh, so sorry.
I'm sorry it took a pandemic. Perry said he read the news one morning and learned about the man who discovered art dealer Forrest Fenn's $1 million treasure chest. He decided he wanted a piece of that magic himself. How have like what? I want to go on a treasure hunt. He
Like,
and his fiance,
it's a good fiance.
fiance. Tallahassee capital is wiener and balls. It totally is.
Mm-hmm.
Like just in the horizon. Amy embarked on their own adventure, bearing the contents of his entire jewelry store and thousands upon thousands of precious metals and antiques throughout the state of Michigan. In total, he's buried $1 million worth of treasure. We went through waterfalls, streams, we kayaked everywhere, Perry said. Each piece of buried treasure has an X painted on the spot, as well as a GPS, so he knows whether the treasure has been discovered. A word of warning: sharing clues online is forbidden. And during the pandemic, Perry notes that, quote, good judgment is crucial, so social distancing and frequent hand washing is important. The first treasure hunt will begin August 1st with the value of the treasure, two 100-ounce silver bars worth around $4,200.
Nice. So you just treasure hunt for like one thing at a time?
I guess, yeah.
What if they die and they don't give out all the clues?
Oh god, that's so awful. That's what was the book, not read me.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It was where the guy died, and it was stuff. It wasn't
Easter
Ready
egg
Player One. Was it Ready Player One?
hunters. Yes, Ready Player One.
Ready Player One was one of them, but there was another story where there was like, it was a Dan Brown thing, right? Didn't Dan Brown write one of those? Where there was
Dan
like
Brown.
a event and everything took over. No, Daniel Suarez. Daniel Suarez. It was called Demon. Demon. It was about a guy who was a video game developer and he died, and it set off a chain of events through automation that made like real life augmented reality a thing. TV Travis was talking about. Demon was a good book. Good book. Second one was
Wait,
like, all right,
when did you read it?
you need to read it. It's right up your alley. You would be done
You
with it in like 3 days.
You let me see the books that were good.
Well, it was forever ago. This was like forever ever. The sequel was all right, but yeah, the first one really had some good stuff. It was pretty great. He died and then like just,
Wombat to little, because I'm like, you don't know what I'm saying anyway. I'm gonna read my book.
I read The Hobbit to Sam when he was 3 months old. It was pretty
So I've
great.
been into the Montessori stuff, and they're like, when they're little, don't show them anything that's fantastical. And I'm struggling with that so much because I'm like,
But
everything in this house is fantastical. Because he keeps looking at the Zelda book, like the Breath of the Wild big art piece with a giant book, and I want to sit and show them that so bad, but I'm like, maybe I shouldn't show him what a bokoblin is before he knows what a hippo is.
oh, because the realism thing. I can
Yeah.
understand it, but I kind of side with the chat and go, they're gonna work that out. It's not like you're breaking them.
Yes, the Hyrule Compendium. Hi, Super Saiyan. But so, I mean, I completely get it because you're like, you want them to have a foundation in reality before you start. Because I remember Sam was terrified of skeletons for a while, right? Like
he
it
loves
was,
freaking skeletons.
but now he loves them, right? Because he realizes, okay, these aren't real, right? Like
Yeah.
people have a skeleton, but there's not going to be one that jumps out of the closet. So, like, I would prefer not to go through the year of having to go, that's make believe. I understand you. So I completely get it. And like when he's ready, then shove every Dragonlance book down his throat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you do what you do. You know my perspective. Everybody's got opinions, and they can all shove them up their butt. And you just do what you think is right, and everybody's gonna turn out fine regardless. It doesn't. I'm serious. I truly believe. Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, 2020 is kind of a butthole, so at least he gets to miss it. He's not really gonna care. I mean, he'll be here when the apocalypse is occurring, and the fallout and whatnot. But the initial opening of it is.
I do have a prediction. they keep subtly mentioning like some of these breathing issues and brain death, like chunks of your brain kind of dying off and causing dementia like symptoms in younger patients who've gotten COVID. And I'm like, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like it's maybe not the best thing ever. Like you don't want to not breathe and you don't want to, forget the color green because part of your brain died because hell yeah, COVID party. So I'm really thinking that this is how zombieism starts, right?
That
Because we're already undereducated as shit. Nobody's gonna get any education like next year because everybody's gonna be like, well, I went to school for a week and then I was off for 2 weeks, but then Kimmy came down with COVID, so my entire class went to remote learning. But we're children and we can't remote learn. Like, I'm not going to sit, you know what I'm saying? So we're all going to be dumb. And then all the dumb kids are going to get COVID. They're not going to be able to breathe. So they're going to be like, so they're going to be really slow moving because they can't catch their breath. And then they're all going to be brain dead. And I'm like, effing zombies.
so you're like, they're zombies. They're still alive and they don't eat the flesh of humans, but they do horrible things regardless because they don't know
Right?
who they are. They're heavy breathing and they're trying to survive.
Slow moving, heavy breathing. They're just meandering around going, I don't know where my pants are.
You might be onto something. We're like, I think you're just gonna see staring at goats Wednesday nights 8:30 p.m. You're just gonna see more of a discrepancy, more of a split between educated and uneducated. Because people who are educated and have the time are gonna educate their kids at home anyway. Like Stephanie spent the last week spending 2 hours with Sam every day talking over alphabet. They were learning about money today. He loves it. So they're like learning all this cool stuff so he can kind of be ready for kindergarten. And if kindergarten falls through, she's going to keep teaching him the stuff. Like it's going to. But there are people who are like, well, my kid can't go to school. Guess my kid's dumb, while they got their hand down their pants watching football. Not
Right,
football, whatever football the replacement will be if there is a football.
Marble Run.
Marble runs. Okay, yeah, watching marble run.
So I actually have a great idea. Okay, so like we've got this amazing community, and I don't know how, but like everybody's really smart, like really smart. Like we've got very well educated people in our group, right? So I'm thinking, worst comes to worst, we just get little groups together and we're like, okay, so for this Twitch hour, Kelly is going to teach you about
Oh,
in your lungs and why you should wash your hands and not wear your mask under your nose, right? And HG is going to teach you about the macaque experiments he did in college because I think that's what he was doing.
he worked at a macaque park.
Macaque park.
Yeah, the macaque park. TV's Travis is going to give you like a history of all the movies you need to see.
Right? Like
So many talents.
but seriously, like, and if you want to draw, you can have art stuff with people. Like, you can have game time together with like Adam and his kid. Like, it just, I really think like that's where we should go. And then we'll eventually move to the compound when 90% of the population is dead, and we can just take whatever we want because we have superior brains.
Now we get to this compound, we're going to need to build a wall real high. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. I love all you people so much. You're my favorite humans. This is the highlight of my week. I sat down and I'm like, today's been kind of crummy. I don't want to do a show. I'm kind of tired.
Same.
And then I got here and I'm just, y'all cheer me up. Y'all pick me up out of a funk. And I'm like, I'm not going to be funny tonight. It's going to suck. I'm so done with today. And then, no. I still wasn't funny, but you guys were, and that made the show better. So thanks for that. We're riding on your coattails. If you like the show, review our service. I'd like to shout out to my mom, who just told me that she finally figured out how to review both of our shows over on iTunes. So she's like, I left you a review. You should be so proud of the shows you do. And I was, thanks, Mom. My mom's a patron. So thank you, patron mom. Patron mom of Two Doors. Ashley's mom is also a patron because moms are the best. Follow us on Twitter. I'm Steve H&H. Ashley's Fate Kills, PHATE Kills. If you follow her and say stuff, she might like it. She'll never tweet again, but she'll definitely click the heart button.
I tweeted that I don't wash my legs. Do you
really?
wash your legs?
Yeah, like with soap and water and stuff? Of course.
Well, like I have a scrubby mitt, so I dry brush to get the dead skin cells in my lymph system, and then I have a scrubby, and I scrub. But like, what do I do that my shin needs soap? Like my armpits need soap, and my butthole needs soap, and like my belly button and my ears and behind my ears need soap. But like,
I feel like the amount of time and effort you put into cleaning your body and rubbing it with coconut oil, it shocks me that you don't put soap on your shins. Like why are you not everywhere clean? Why are you just choosing?
But I've okay, so I've removed the top layer of skin from my shins that would have held any dirt and germs. So why would I need to see TV Travis? Armpits, assholes, crotch, and teeth. But so you need your belly button in behind your ears because those can get smelly.
Pits, nuts, and butts. That's what McFly taught Sam. That's what he says when he takes a bath now. Pits, nuts, and butts.
But okay, so it's not the time. It's just like, why are you stripping all the oils?
Why are you not?
You don't need to.
Why
like
not?
How are your shins dirty?
Because you're a person and you're a filthy animal. You should just wash your body. Like what on earth? Just do it. It's just what you do. You don't question it.
I start with my armpits, right? And I get my neck and my ears, and then I do my arms and like my belly and stuff. I'll re-soap the mitt and do butthole region, and then just move down and then soap my feet. So it's getting residual soap. I just don't like extra fluff.
Residual soap doesn't count.
Oh my god, groove! Bad groove. I use pillows, mofo. You don't go shin to the hard shit. Floors suck.
You gotta wash your person. Like, you just have to do it. You can't.
Okay, do you re-soap for every appendage?
I soap like 4 times. I'm the cleanest mofo that ever took a shower.
Where are your re-soap stations?
I re-soap, so I would do my armpits and like my chest and back, and then I re-soap, and then I do my head and stuff, get that out of the way, or re-soap, and then I do my butt parts and re-soap, and then I do my legs and feet. I'm soaped up.
So yeah, but you still get residual soap.
But I need to know that I have scrubbed those areas with soap and scrub.
And also, I shave too, so I take a razor and drag it across my skin. Therefore, really, I'm real clean.
I use a loofah, but the soap Stephanie bought doesn't keep sudsy very well. So, and I don't care about this whole men shouldn't use loofahs bull crap. Shove that up your butt. The loofah's the greatest invention since time began. It's so much better at sudsing than a rag and soap. So much better at sudsing. It's just the sudsiest sudser you'll ever use. I'm all in for the loofah.
I basically use material sandpaper.
Yeah, Ashley just I don't understand why we're even having this conversation, because you basically take a block of charcoal and rub it over your body. You're like, Grandpa uses lava soap in the garage for his hands after working on an engine. That's what you use in the shower, but it's like great. It's a different. It's not lava soap. It's a grand pumice applicator from plant therapy.
The extra skin stuff is gross. So I want the skin to be gone that doesn't need to be there. Also, I use a silk pillowcase, and that bitch is awesome. And HG, back me up on this, and then I'll let everybody go. I'm sorry. Bed bugs and mitey grossness are in your bed. And so if you take your covers and fold them back during the day and let that all air out, you've got less mites and stuff because they thrive in a warm, moist environment. So if you let the covers loose, they get cooler and all the perspiration evaporates and stuff. So technically, if you make your bed up first thing in the morning, it's stupid. Steve is shaking his head.
I am, because science says it takes roughly 30 minutes of sunshine to get rid of the mites to the degree that they should be gotten rid of, and then you can make your bed. It's not an excuse to leave your bed unmade for 8 to 12 hours. It's not necessary. It's like, I have to leave my phone under a UV light for 3 days. It's like, no, like 30 seconds. You're just expanding it so you have to make your bed right away. I get out of bed, I go downstairs, do the breakfast thing, I come upstairs, take my shower, I make the bed. It has had plenty of time to get air and sun and light by then. Totally works.
Please, Travis, is my favorite thing. Who are you trying to impress by making your bed?
I'm trying to impress me. I have to have the bed made. I have to.
I never, ever. So my sheets before I met Jacob were not tucked in ever. So when I sleep by myself, all the sheets are rolled up into a little gerbil ball and I tuck them under my feet and I tuck I'm just a burrito of sheets and shit. I don't like them tucked under the bed and I never made my bed cuz
I know.
you have to make it to be a burrito ball again and it was awful. I hated when my mom would come make my bed cuz she would get sick of it and I'd have to spend 30 minutes untucking my sheets so I could be a burrito ball. I'm like, I can't sleep if I'm not a burrito ball.
I feel like you're just making excuses not to make your bed.
Burrito ball.
I don't need to bounce a quarter off of it. I'm not in the military, but I do. If it's sloppy, the whole room is sloppy, and my entire life is chaos. If I make the bed, I feel like even if there's clothes thrown over the chaise lounge in the corner of the room, there's at least a made bed, and part of my life is organized. And if that gets too chaotic, I lose it. Stephanie will tell you all about Steven's cleaning freakouts, where I freak out the whole house and I clean everything. She's making breakfast. She just got the eggs out. I'll walk by and put the eggs back in the fridge. She's like, I'm not even done with them yet. I haven't even cracked one, and you just put away. She'll be making a sandwich, and I'll be walking over, and I'll just put the mayonnaise away. She'll be like, where'd the mayonnaise go? Did you clean up the mayonnaise? Yes, I did. I'm having a freak out, and I'm cleaning. I'm sorry that I'm picking up things that you're using right now, but you're going to make the sandwich, and then you're going to go sit down, and it's still going to be on the counter. And instead of going back in the fridge after using it, so I'm gonna have to come by I turned complete Mark Summers Double Dare. I'm running around straightening rugs. I didn't grow up like this. My mom didn't teach me to do this, but she kept a clean house, and now I'm like, the house isn't clean. Oh my gosh, I have to do everything, and I just lose it. And Stephanie cleans up very well. She does all kinds of crazy stuff, but I'm a nut. I don't even know how to function.
If you don't feel okay mentally, if stuff's super stressful, one thing you can control is your environment. So I don't see any clutter at all until I do, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
fuck? And I start running around and I have to do it quickly.
Yes.
I want it done quickly.
Rapid.
Yes, and Jacob will be like, honey, are you mad? I'm like,
yes.
No, I'm just doing this. He's like, loudly. I'm like, it's just, I'm not mad. I just
right. They think we're angry. She's like, what are you upset about? I'm like, I'm not upset. I'm just cleaning. You seem upset. I'm focused. I've got a job to do.
Your brain finally goes, look at all the shit that you've been ignoring for the last week. So if we could do this, maybe you could get your life together. You're like, I must do it. And then you do it really quickly and loudly, and everybody thinks you're insane.
Why are you cleaning that stuff up and throwing things around? I need to get it to its place now. Not later. Now. Anyway, we tried to end the show 10 minutes ago, but we should do that now. You guys are awesome. Do all the things we mentioned earlier and come back next week for more party time. You're amazing, and we love you, and we hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Well, yeah, we'll do that after we finish the show.
Oh, sorry. See, clutter.
Gosh, broke the show. It's time. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Bye.